Hey guys, it's WD62 this time. Some of you guys, I sent a research paper that I wrote on a project I'm working on where I'm going to try to find oil fields or oil reservoirs by looking for bacteria in the dirt, about 8 or 12 inches underground. And the reason that I do that is that we know that when there's an oil reservoir, 4,000 or 5,000 feet deep in the ground here in Kansas, traces of that oil makes its way to the top of the earth, and there are bacteria that eat that oil, those hydrocarbon fumes. And if I can identify those bacteria and go around and start sampling soil, across fields, maybe every 300 or 400 feet, then when I find samples that have a large amount of these bacteria in them, that should tell me that there's probably some type of an oil reservoir, several thousand feet below where I took that sample. And that's what happened here. What you're looking at now is one of my incubators, and you're looking down into it, and the black here, this is oil. This is crude oil. This white area here and up here, this is bacteria. These are bacterial colonies. When I first started this culture, first of all, this incubator contains a solution that I created, which is basically food for the bacteria. And then I went to an oil field where I know there's oil, and I took some dirt from atop that oil field, and it is also inside this incubator, mixed in with the solution, the nutrient solution. And then I put a scum of this oil inside this incubator, and when I started out, this entire area here was all black. It had an oil scum all the way across it. And what you can see now is that there was obviously oil-eating bacteria in that dirt, because they grew and they actually have eaten a good part of this oil away. And like right up here in this corner, they've eaten that, and this whole area here has been consumed by the bacteria. And you're actually seeing the bacteria here. This white milky substance is actually the bacteria. So what this all means is that I can now culture these bacteria out of different soil samples. So if I want to go look at a field that's maybe a square mile, a square mile field, I can go across this field at every 300 or 400 feet. I can take a sample of soil, and I will culture each one of those samples and feed each one of those cultures this crude oil. And the cultures that have the bacteria in them, obviously, we have ways that we can identify these bacteria long before they become visible like this. But whenever I see samples that have a high amount of this oil-eating bacteria, it should tell me that several thousand feet below where I got that sample, there's a good chance that there is some type of an oil reservoir. And that can help us know that that might be a good place to drill. So yeah, that's something I've been working on, and this was a really big day for me because I hadn't been paying attention to this incubator. It had been sitting around for quite a while, and I hadn't even noticed that these bacteria had actually consumed all this oil out of here. So we've definitely been able to culture these bacteria and grow them in a laboratory. And so now I'm going to go out into an oil field and take samples all across the oil field and see if I get concentrations of the bacteria showing up where the oil wells are, and where they're not oil wells, I shouldn't see any or as much bacteria. So that's what's going on. Hope you're not bored.